Safety is everyone's responsibility. What one person does on site can affect everyone else. Today, we will review the rules for permanent site terminations and one-day suspensions. Let's look at permanent site terminations. These actions are never allowed on site and will result in immediate action. First, alcohol consumption and gambling on site. They impair judgment and focus, and even a small mistake can lead to a serious accident. In high-risk work such as work at height or heavy lifting, even a small lapse in attention can be dangerous. Alcohol consumption or gambling causes loss of focus and judgment, making the situation extremely hazardous. If alcohol consumption or gambling is detected on site, work will be stopped immediately and a permanent site termination will be applied. This rule is not a punishment, but a basic principle to protect workers' lives. The second case is failing to not wear a safety harness approaching fall hazard areas without proper care. Fall accidents are the most frequent and among the most fatal accidents on construction sites. The moment someone thinks, "This should be fine," an accident begins. In fall hazard areas, acting without protection can lead to irreversible consequences from a single mistake. A safety harness must always be worn in fall-risk areas, and hazardous zones must not be entered without approved methods and protection. Such actions result in a permanent site termination. The third case is entering restricted or hazardous areas without approval. These areas are restricted for a reason. They may involve unstable structures, heavy lifting, electrical work, or work at height that is not immediately visible. Unauthorized entry not only yourself but also your co-workers at risk. Therefore, unauthorized access to restricted or hazardous areas results in a permanent site termination. The fourth case is performing work without a permit to work, or PTW. A PTW is not just paperwork, it is a process to identify risks and agree on safe work methods in advance. PTW is mandatory for high-risk tasks such as work at height, hot work, confined space work, electrical work, and heavy lifting. Working without PTW is like entering danger without any safety protection. Therefore, performing work without PTW results in a permanent site termination. The fifth case is starting work without a risk assessment. Risk assessment is a process where workers and supervisors review hazards and precautions together before work begins. Without this process, workers may be exposed to hazards without realizing them. Therefore, working without a risk assessment is not allowed and results in a permanent site termination. The sixth case is when a worker required to attend a risk assessment intentionally does not participate or ignores the process. Risk assessment is not a one-way briefing, but a critical discussion where workers share risks together. If you do not participate, you may miss critical information and put the entire team at risk. Failure to attend risk assessment results in a permanent site termination. The seventh case is remove/dismantle safety facilities or safety devices without authorization. Guardrails, opening covers, safety nets, and machine guards are not meant to cause inconvenience. They are the last line of defense against accidents. The moment someone thinks, "I'll just remove it for a moment," the risk of an accident increases sharply. Unauthorized removal of safety facilities or devices results in a permanent site termination. The eighth case is performing two-person tasks alone without authorization. Work such as confined space work, work at height, and electrical work must be performed in teams of two to protect each other and respond to emergency case. When working alone, it is difficult to request help or respond immediately in an emergency. Therefore, unauthorized solo work results in a permanent site termination. The ninth case is repeated violation of one-day suspension rules. Repeating the same violation significantly increases accident risk. If one-day suspension rules are violated twice, a permanent site termination will be applied. The 10th case is failure to follow legitimate safety instructions or verbal or physical abuse toward co-workers or supervisors. Safety is built on respect and communication. Ignoring instructions or reacting emotionally breaks teamwork and leads to accidents. Repeated failure to follow safety instructions or any act of verbal or physical violence results in a permanent site termination. Next, let's review the rules for one-day site suspension. These cases do not result in permanent site terminations, but they require immediate improvement and can lead to serious accidents if ignored. The first case is failure to wear required personal protective equipment. Basic PPE such as helmets, safety shoes, goggles, and gloves protect the body from impacts, flying objects, and slips. Wearing PPE is the easiest and most effective safety rule on site. Failure to wear PPE may result in a one-day site suspension. The second case is a blood alcohol concentration of 0.03% or higher. Even a small amount of alcohol affects reaction time and judgment. On sites with equipment operation, work at height, or heavy lifting, small impairment can lead to serious danger. In line with legal standards, a blood alcohol concentration of 0.03% or higher results in a one-day site suspension. The third case is failure to attend TBM or safety training. TBM and safety training are not formalities. They are opportunities to share today's hazards and precautions. Failure to attend without valid reason results in a one-day site suspension. The fourth case involves insufficient hazard awareness, as indicated by a risk awareness assessment score of below 4. Workers must understand the hazards of their tasks. Working without hazard awareness increases the risk of accidents. If hazard awareness is critically insufficient, a one-day site suspension may be applied for training and improvement. The fifth case is unsafe behavior that may cause injury. Running, joking while working, or moving without awareness of surroundings can endanger not only yourself but also your coworkers. Even small carelessness or jokes can lead to unexpected injuries, so such unsafe behavior must be corrected. The sixth case is unauthorized entry beneath suspended loads during lifting operations using cranes or hoists. The area beneath a lifted load is never safe. Equipment failure or improper rigging can lead to serious accidents. Unauthorized entry beneath suspended loads requires a one-day site suspension. The seventh case is smoking or handling ignition sources in unauthorized areas. Construction sites contain many flammable materials, such as insulation and cables. Even a small spark can cause a major fire. Smoking and hot work must be done only in designated and approved areas. The eighth case is unauthorized operation of machinery or equipment. Only designated operators who fully understand the equipment are allowed to operate it. Even a single button or switch operation can cause malfunction or serious accidents. Unauthorized operation is extremely dangerous. The ninth case is using tools or equipment without gate entry inspection approval. Uninspected equipment may have hidden defects, such as damage, insulation failure, or malfunction. Using such equipment can lead to electric shock, cuts, or equipment failure. Therefore, inspection and use approval procedures must always be followed. The 10th case is violation of on-site traffic safety rules, such as speeding or illegal parking. Construction sites are active work areas where many workers are moving. Speeding or parking in restricted areas increases accident risk. Always follow designated speed limits and park only in approved areas. Permanent site terminations and one-day suspensions are not punishments. They are commitments to protect everyone's safety. Safety starts with small actions, and those actions can save a coworker's life. Let's continue to look out for one another so everyone can go home safely today. Thank you.